Night. Hey, Jordan Love has struggled against the blitz this season. The Lions do so at the third highest rate in the NFL, even if they aren't 100% healthy, as Michelle's telling you about. When blitz, Love ranks 32nd in QBR and yards per attempt and ranks 29th in completion percentage among 33 qualified quarterbacks. The Lions defense ranks 7th or better in those three categories. And Love completed 3 of his 10 passes for 24 yards and an interception when the Lions blitzed him in Week 9. Now, Marcus, Green Bay has already lost to the Lions once this season, but what are you looking for Jordan Love to do better in this week's matchup?
Yeah, Boogie, they lost, but they lost by 10. And I want to show you what can be different for Jordan Love in this offense, especially when you get these opportunities that Aaron Glenn is going to go. Both of these are cover zero plays. In this situation in the red area, where he's just a bit off with the running back. This is a touchdown if Jordan Love puts this ball in the right place. Again, you run play action. You get the linebackers up sniffing. Wide open crosser coming across the field. He throws it behind him. These are about opportunities for Jordan Love. Early in the season, I remember Dan talking about you don't want to pull the reins away from him because what he does aggressively gives him opportunities to be the guy that they paid this offseason. But more importantly, when you start talking about the margins that the Green Bay Packers will be in with the Detroit Lions, that they will be in the playoffs, these are the type of plays that you have to execute at critical moments. 10-point game, we saw 14 points not be put on the board just because of 2 off-target throws on 0 blitzes.
And Dan, what have you been seeing from the Packers offense since that Detroit loss in Week 9?
What formation am I going to tell you that the Packers are going to run? And the Lions got to stop. They got to stop what? 4 by 1. No one does it better. No one does it more. I think the thing is, it constantly evolves, guys. Like it feels infinite for this Packers offense. The different things that they can get to, the different people that they can get the ball to. And that's going to be the challenge for Detroit's defense. 2 back, right? But they're going to get 4 people to one side of the formation. Now all they have is their split flow run where they double team. They're going to cut the man on line of scrimmage. But that extra kind of flat route by that back holds those 2 defenders. All I'm doing is creating space and numbers advantages. 4 by 1 again, but with 3 receivers and a tight end up top. Look at those 3 guys hold 4 people on the defense. How much space I've created backside for my run game. This isn't anything new for my offense to learn. I'm just finding different ways to make all these plays look different. 4 by 1 again, the 2 backs, but now it's again spread out, 4 people to one side. Little ball fake. Look, again, I'm leaving 4 defenders doing absolutely nothing. That backside defensive end is the person who has to close the line of scrimmage. He's too late, and a simple run goes for 18 yards. And again, I could get it into multiple different ways. There's that 4 by 1 again. Now, if you want to tuck that backer inside and you only leave 3 up top instead of 4, great. I'm going to kick the ball out to the perimeter and go get 6 on first down. I think that's the challenge for the Detroit Lions. And here's the thing where it matters the most. Everyone knows the Lions want to play man coverage all the time. Good luck against this Green Bay Packers skill group because they got people that can go. So that's Aaron Glenn's challenge. How he handles that formation, we'll figure out how well they play Thursday night.
You talked about it, how challenging this receiving core is to play man-to-man against.
Sure.
And like people wonder how are they doing so well without a true number 1 wide receiver? This group is so incredibly well coached, and it pops off the tape. It is literally my favorite receiving core to watch on film because they do everything great. They're great in their technique. Their effort is always there. They play well without the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
They're competitive as hell. Like, you name it, top to bottom. They play with such an accountability, such a chip on their shoulder.
Versatility.
And no ego. Versatility, exactly, because they're route running from Reed to Watson to Wicks, and it allows LaFleur to deploy them in a bunch of different ways. I want to give a shout out to Jason Vrabel, who's the receiver coach and pass game coordinator, because really the reason why they've played so well is because they've been able to clean up the mistakes, but everybody's continuing to press. The Detroit Lions are playing a different offense than they did the first time around.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to me how much the Packers have fallen out of, popularity. Or I feel like a lot of people, when they're talking about, who are the top teams in the NFL and this or that, they'll like mention the Packers, but just kind of like, well, because they're 9-3, they're an iconic brand, but it's far and few between finding people who like really believe in the Packers, and even Jordan Love at this moment, at this immediate moment. And I mean, heck, yeah, I know it was Thanksgiving and stuff like that, but people barely even talked about the game against the Dolphins. I mean, everybody was starting to get really high on the Dolphins, and they're flowing now that they got Tua and this and that. But again, people did talk about that Lions game versus the Bears, and they certainly talked about the New York Giants and the Cowboys. And hey, the Cowboys are now coming. Can they make it to the playoffs? Right there, there was like actual legitimate conversations. Yet no one talked about that near flawless game from the Packers. I mean, that game was beautiful. I barely got to talk about it. I talked about it post game, but I had to do like one of those weird post game, videos. As I'm trying to look for my notes right now that I got all over the place. And so it's so fascinating to me. And that's why, like, even using those stats, Jordan Love versus the blitz, stuff like that. At this point, the more that you watch of them, you just realize how stats like that are misleading for a multitude of reasons. One being the fact that Jordan Love is just injured. So that's going to inhibit your ability to face the blitz. That's number one. Number two, not only the injury, but now just the time away of starting the season, you're going to be a little rusty. And then you get injured, and now you have to take more time off. And now you come back, you're going to be rusty again, right? Then you get kind of banged up again. Like, it's so that's why stats, that implies that Jordan Love's just not good against the blitz and pressure and stuff like that. And that's kind of why I kind of take issue against that. And that's not my read on Jordan Love and this team at all. And although I did say in a previous video that, if there's some truth to that, I put it more on Matt LaFleur, especially whether your quarterback's injured or rusty or whatever, like kind of make the job more simplified for Jordan Love. But again, because of him being in and out of the season and not having, truly years of true NFL experience. I mean, this is his second year. I understand that he's a little bit older and that he was in the NFL before, but it just doesn't really matter. He was essentially a rookie point 2 last year, and now this year was supposed to be like his next year to be like, okay, I have learned a lot, I have some great experience that I'm going to apply now to this season, and then it was derailed with injuries and time away. And so now it's like he doesn't have that wealth of experience to be able to fall back on. So this season, the way how it's unfolding makes total sense. And I hope I remember it for any other future examples of when something like this ultimately will happen again. And I can point to, well, remember what happened with Jordan Love and then how it was second year and then he got a little banged up. Like, no, guys, don't jump the ship on him. And so that's the thing. I think Jordan Love is going to continue to find his rhythm, as well as obviously this team as a whole. They're going to continue to get better. And that's why this game means actually so much. Like, I feel so justified now because earlier on in the season, I kept calling out some of these games because like it would be like week 2 or week 1, week 3, and people were like, this game, how important is this game? And I would say, it's not that important. And people would be like, of course it's important. And I'm like, no, it's not. And it's like now we're really at the moments where like the Packers win this game, this blows up everything in the division. It will officially, because now you're going to have 10 and 11 win teams, just all over that division. And now it's going to be like, who can win the division? It opens up the door for still winning the number 1 seed, as long as the Eagles kind of falter a little bit and drop a game. And it just everything's wide open now. The Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, they could all be competing to win the division. And again, like I said, potentially even the number 1 seed. And it really starts with this game right here. The Packers go out and win this game. The Lions are now obviously 11-2, and the Packers are 10-3. It just really opens up the door massively. So this is a huge game for the Packers. This also signifies that, and I understand the Lions are a little banged up and all that. That's all fair and well. That's fine. I'm not gonna kind of look at it through that lens for this specific video. We'll see how the game unfolds. But the Packers have the chance to be like, we got off to a little bit weird of a start. We've had a couple, uneasy games at moments, uneasy drives, whatever it may be. But like we come out strong and complete and win. Even if you want to put all the blame on the injuries, what it still signals is that the Packers will exploit you if you're not healthy. Yeah, if you got weaknesses, if you got an injury, if you got a backup corner here, a backup there, yeah, we're going to feast on you then. We're going to beat you. You better bring your A game. You better hope you're healthy. And if you're putting in backup, second, third string guys, you better hope they're prepared and they're communicating well. Otherwise, we're going to get after you. Like, that's what the good teams do. they get after you. So again, that's what the Packers have to prove against the Lions on Thursday. Now, if they lose, because usually I can justify games and say, you know what, even if you lose, if you play good, this, that, it still means a lot. But now it's at the point where the Packers are like, it's time to put it all together. It's time to put these pieces together. The Lions are not 100%. And in fact, when the Lions beat the Packers in the first game, a lot of Packers fans were saying, hey, that game was actually closer than people realized. And hey, you know what? The Packers aren't 100% healthy. Just wait until we're healthy. Well, so then here you go, right? It's time to kind of, put your money where your mouth is, put your mouth where your money is. Why can't I think of that expression? But there it is. It's time now, right? We're in there. So that's why this game, I'm so happy this game is a standalone game. Thursday games can be a little wonky, but this is like, oh yeah, I am salivating at this game right now. Packers, Lions, prime. I kept saying all going into this season that this is going to be can't miss TV. This division, these divisional games are just going to be so amazing. And now the fact that these games are lined up where like there are true stakes, right? We're talking about a home field advantage, a bye. Like we're talking about real stakes right now. This is a playoff game. Like that's what I'm trying to highlight. Like this is as good as a playoff game that you can get in, week 12, 13, 14. Like this is it right here. Because if the Lions win this game and the Packers lose, Packers are just going to be locked in the wild card. Like, the Lions would really have to fall apart for them to have the chance to win the division. Yeah, which would seem unlikely, honestly. And if the Packers win, like I said, now it still keeps everyone's hopes alive of even trying to maybe get the number 1 seed and getting a first round bye and home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. Like I said, you'll still need a little luck for for the Eagles to fall and stuff, but it's still obviously a possibility. It's not improbable or impossible. So this game, oh god, this game has such weight to it, and it's going to be good. And I'm excited to see what the Packers look like with that weight on the road, going up against the Lions that everyone and their mother knows they're not 100%. The Lions know it, the Packers know it, the fans know it. What do the Packers do to exploit that, if they can at all? Can't wait, man. I cannot wait. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Green Bay Packers taking on the Lions? Who you got in this game? Do you think the Packers are going to be able to find their form and really start to take advantage of their own strengths? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.